Now, the LMPD is investigating the stabbing of a woman in a retirement home in Old Louisville this morning. At about 5:10 a.m., Louisville Metro Police responded to a trouble run inside of an apartment in the 900 block of South 4th Street at the Friendship House. Officers on scene entered the apartment and found a woman inside suffering from stab wounds. EMS was called to the scene and the victim was pronounced dead.
Christian Care has a history of 140 years of service. Our residents and our families know us very well, and they know that we're going to take good care of them and do everything we possibly can to keep them safe.
The LMPD does not have any suspects as of right now, despite Friendship House being equipped with cameras and staffed with overnight security. Anyone with information about this case is asked to call the LMPD anonymous tip line at 574 LMPD. All right, for the first time, we are getting a look at the man whose reckless driving, police say, led to that crash which left the semi-truck dangling off the 2nd Street Bridge. Now, you're looking at Trevor Branham. He's 33 years old. He arrived to court in a wheelchair after suffering his own injuries on March 1st. He faces 4 counts of wanton endangerment and a charge of driving on a suspended license. Witnesses told police Branham weaved in and out of traffic as he hit a stalled vehicle, lost control of his truck, and then hit a semi. Now, before we get to some of the court arguments, we want to show you this. It's our first look at the dash cam video from inside that Cisco truck the day of the crash. Yeah, that's what you're seeing now. Now, we're not airing the audio of the semi driver during the crash just out of respect for good judgment. But you can see that moment that she was hit and then swerves to miss oncoming traffic and then goes off the edge there, and you're looking straight at the water. The prosecution used this evidence to justify Branham's charge of wanton endangerment and argued that that charge should remain as is.
It's a traffic accident that happens every day. This one just happens to be on the news, and they charge it as a wanton endangerment first because it's on the news.
And it was a series of actions that he intentionally made that led to what we have here today. This is not an accident. It is a collision.
Now, following testimony, the judge did keep Branham's bond at $20,000. The case is set to go to the grand jury the week of June 17th. And all of this comes one day before we air our one-on-one interview with Sydney Thomas. She, of course, the woman who was driving that semi. Doug Proffitt sat down with her to find out what was going through her mind as that truck went over the edge. And, of course, during that time that it was hanging midair. She also has a message for Trevor Branham. It's an exclusive interview that you'll only see right here on WHAS 11. That is tomorrow night at 6 and 11. A teenager is expected to survive after being shot in downtown Louisville overnight. Metro Police say the 16-year-old was found just before 1 this morning at 9th and West Jefferson Streets. He was taken to a local hospital. As of now, there are no suspects. You're asked to call the LMPD tip line at 574 LMPD if you have any information. A 17-year-old homicide suspect is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. According to police, he wrestled with an LMPD officer yesterday around 3rd and Kenton Avenue, which is near the backside of Churchill Downs. Police also told us the teen fired a shot and that officer fired back. WHAS 11's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Elisha McKenzie report.
It's getting scary and it's getting worse, and every day is something, somehow, some sort.
Some residents in the Wilder Park neighborhood say they aren't surprised after a Louisville Metro police officer shot a 17-year-old during a struggle. Kim C. was at home when the police shooting happened.
Well, I heard a few gunshots, but I hear that all the time, so I'm kind of getting used to it. But then after I started hearing all the police cars.
Kim walked outside and saw several LMPD cars everywhere. LMPD says detectives were at 3rd and Kenton Avenue at 3 o'clock conducting surveillance on the 17-year-old who they believe is tied to an ongoing homicide investigation from last week. Police say the suspect showed a firearm and began to run away.
Detectives were able to tackle the armed subject and began to wrestle for the gun in the suspect's hand. After multiple requests to release the gun, the suspect discharged the firearm.
One LMPD officer then shot the suspect 1 time.
The individual is a 17-year-old Hispanic male. At this time, we do not believe there is any further danger to the public.
The officers rendered aid to the 17-year-old boy who was transported to U of L Hospital. Kim has lived in the area for 25 years and has been more alert of her surroundings over the last few years.
If you got 1,001 police cars a half a block from where you live at, you're not going to go and kind of be nosy what's going on around you?
Jonathan Garth agrees. He lives just a few blocks down from where the shooting happened at and is thinking about moving soon.
It does make me feel a little less secure about living here.
A police search that escalated in a matter of minutes now has some residents hoping this will be a wake-up call to the homicide suspect.
I just pray that he pulls through and, get his life together.
Taylor Woods, WHAS11 on your side.
Now, the LMPD says body camera footage will be released in 10 business days, and anyone with information is urged to call that anonymous tip line, once again, 574-LMPD. And remember, you can also use the online portal. Police are also investigating after a shooting victim crashed into a yard in Valley Station. This happened around 7:30 last night on Anita Boulevard off of Valley Station Road. Officers found a man with a gunshot wound in a car crashed into a tree. That man was taken to an area hospital and is expected to survive. Investigators believe that shooting happened about a half-mile away on Libby Lane. If you have any information, again, 574-LMPD. Right now, Metro Police are looking for the man also on your screen. He's accused of inappropriately touching women in Cherokee Park. Police say this photo in particular was taken Tuesday on Cherokee Road in the Highlands. Detectives say they've received multiple reports of a man inappropriately touching women at the park earlier this month. Now, the latest came Tuesday when a woman said a man exposed himself to her near the golf course. Police say they're stepping up patrols in that area, but anyone with information is urged to call 574-LMPD. Leaders in Floyd County, Indiana say they're close to reaching a new deal for ambulance service. The county commission believes everyone is in agreement on what's known as Option 7, which includes funding for Highlander Fire Department and AmeriPro. Commissioners also say if they don't have the funding organized by May 31st, that deadline of May 31st, the commissioners are able to execute a contract and work out the money later. The joint body will meet once again Friday or perhaps Monday.
It's not seen as a threat. It's really, I want that to be a reassurance to people that we are exploring all options and will continue to do so down to the wire on this.
According to Knable, they're considering a 2-year and 7-month contract for $3.5 million. That joint body will meet once again, as I mentioned, Friday or Monday.